Hey guys, Chris here at TT120. Apparently I'm supposed to be using this, and the lad says, there you go. Happy Jim? Right, okay, now we can crack on. So, a bit of a shout out to the Hornby marketing team, whoever's doing it now. It's commendable that you're not blowing your own trumpet, but every now and then it's okay to sort of tell us that at least you have a trumpet. Now, the trumpet I'm talking about today is this cracking little piece of kit, right? And we're going to go into a couple of videos of how to set it up and how to use it. But what is it? Well, it's a Bluetooth accessories decoder control, whatever we'll call it. Now, I was bemoaning the fact that I couldn't find a HM7000 Bluetooth accessories controller. I wasn't quite sure what to do about it because I'm a little bit behind the curve when it comes to the tech that surrounds this hobby. And there's a whole load of stuff out there. And if you are newly returned or new to the hobby, you may well feel the same as me, that I really need to go to a website somewhere that tells me this is the thing that does the thing. And there isn't one. And certainly on the Hornby website, it doesn't tell you specifically about this. It tells you about it being something that you can use with DC. It tells you about the fact that it's Bluetooth. It tells you that you can use it in conjunction with DCC, but it doesn't say anything about HM7000 or that kind of control. And so, because it had been alluded to in, I think, in one of the Tech Train talks that Simon Keller had been involved in, I was expecting something to be announced or something to be sort of, launched. But instead, I spoke to some people who knew more about tech. For example, Rich at This Way Works, and I said, is there something else out there that I can use, that I can control using my app, using the app on my iPad? Is there something I can control points with, something I can control signals, lighting, etc.? And he said, well, yeah, there is. There's the HM6010 controller. I said, well, but really? He said, but I thought that was just for the DC Bluetooth. It wasn't for... He said, no, you can use it. I'm sure you can. In fact, I'm sure that Dodge's TT has done a little video on it. So I had a little look. Here's Dodge's TT. Now, it's one of the ones that doesn't explain about what's going on, but if you know what you're looking for, you can look at what he's doing, and you can see that he's actually using this to control accessories. In fact, he's controlling a Pico motor. Now, what I thought I would do here for you guys is do something a little bit more blow by blow, a little bit more easy to access for some of the guys who've not experienced this stuff before, to make it show you how easy this is to use. All right, and in fact, you can use it using HM7000. You can use it. You can power it actually from your track, as well as there's a 15-volt DC jack in the back here. But if you want to, and also something I've noticed, and on the back of the box, here you go. It says here that there is that it's up to 12 accessories, and that these do 4 accessories each. So that means that, well, apparently you can only use 3 of these. Well, that's not true, because I think Dodgy, I think he told Richard that he had 9 of these. So wow, it's like 36 accessories he's controlling from his app, from his laptop, not from his laptop, from his iPad or iPhone. I mean, that's amazing, isn't it? So chapeau to him. I'll put a link of his video so you can check that out at the end. There'll be one of the videos will be Dodge's video, so you can look at his channel and check out what he's been up to as well. Okay, right. Well, I think we better crack on with. We'll show you how it works, show you how to link it to the iPad, and then we'll do a little bit of installation, and then we'll do a little bit of shunting and a bit of operational stuff at the end. Okay, cheers. Right, okay, so here's a test bench. thought I'd have a little try it out, program it to the iPad, and see how we get on with it. Quick explanation of what we've got here. Right, so first of all, here is Hornby's R7293, the HM610 Bluetooth DC app accessories control unit. A pair of R8243 service mounted point motors, because we're going to I'm going to try and fix one to a point and try and fix one to one of the decoupling ramps and see how that operates. We've got Hornby's R406 colour light signal. Yes, I know it's 00. It looks absolutely huge beside the track. It's a little bit of fun. I just want to see that this works and how the app works controlling signals. Hoping, of course, that one day we get some nice proper size signal units to come out. And we've got a 3 volt with a capacitor wired to it, so that I can put 12 volts into a little LED, which we'll put in the signal box, just so that we've got a 4th accessory and the 3rd type, although this output in the instructions says can operate a 12 volt motor. I've got nothing for a motor to use on this layout, so we thought we'd put the light in through there instead. Now, some of you might be thinking, what's this little bit of electricity? Well, there will, of course, be links for all of these in the description below. But to a quick explanation of what this thing is, it's a step down, bought on eBay. I think, what's the name of it? It's a voltage regulator step down. You can put 4 to 40 volts in, and you can control using this little pot here. You can get 1 to 35 volts out. Why have I put it on here? It may be something that you don't need. Well, it all goes back to really how I'm powering my track. Now, the instructions that come with this are really quite tidy, very well organised. I'm rather impressed with them, actually. I think it's the best set of instructions I've got from Hornby before. It shows you how to do the Bluetooth, or the instructions on how they link up, and then it has a very easy and understand breakdown of how to connect a point motor, street lighting, signal lighting, and a motor-driven accessory on there as well. So that's all very good. It even comes with a little handy drilling template. But I think I'm going to be using Velcro on mine. Going back to this side, quick recap. Okay, so this page here confuses me a little bit. It doesn't confuse me, but it did confuse me. It says here, for DC analog, connect the transformer jack to a DC port. And so there's the transformer lead from the transformer you can buy from Hornby. There it is, the P9100. Now, I'm thinking, if I want to have multiple ones of these, do I want to have multiple transformers? I'd much rather power it from the rails. When you look at this example here, there is a way of powering it from the rails, but they suggest it's for DCC digital. Now, I was under when I saw this initially, I was under the impression that it meant that some kind of control went through this, and I'm guessing that some kind of control does go through it. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I thought, because obviously the power that's in the rails for DCC has a certain amount of control going down it, but maybe that doesn't actually matter. Maybe it's just still Bluetooth. And that's the conclusion that Richard at This Way Works came up with. And he said, look, that should be no issue with you just putting some droppers on your track, and each one of these can be powered from your rails if you've got a powerful enough main transformer, which I have. I have DCC Concepts Cobalt Alpha Power, which is cracking. It's nice, smooth, plenty of power, plenty of amps. It's well recommended, but it does give out 18.5 volts. Now, that isn't an issue with Hornby's TT120 DCC decoders, HM7000 decoders, they can cope with that. They've got in their own wiring, they can deal with that. Okay, so that's not an issue. But I wasn't sure whether or not it would be an issue with any of this. So for the sake of £4.20 on eBay, I bought this little dude, which was a recommendation again from Richard at This Way It Works. Thank you, Richard. So I've got a positive and negative coming out of my track power, okay, going easily fitted into these little connectors here. Then you can turn it off and on here, and then you can look at what input and what output you've got by controlling this one here. This little pot here changes the amount of voltage that goes in, and then that goes into this unit. These units have 3 sets of 3 connections, 1, 2, and 3. These, I think they give an output of around about 14 volts, which is fine because a lot of these accessories work at. But that one is 12 volts only, which is why I've put my 12 to 3 volt drop down LED. Again, that resistor is probably protecting it enough. That could probably cope with a little bit more juice going through. Right, let's have a look at now. We'll fire it up. Fire up my transformer. Boom. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got an on-off to look at the screen here, and this tells you what's coming out. Right, so that's 18.2 volts is going in. In a moment, 1.3 volts is going out, so we need a bit more than that. So we're just going to jack that up. $14.8, because it recommends between 12 and 15. So let's give it 14.8. It's a number I like. There you go. So you can see that it's receiving power. Okay, so now what we need to do is let's fire up our DCC. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to link device. All right, and we are going to start a scan. You see that HM610 pops up here. We need to let it finish its scanning. Yep, stopping and done. Right, now we can link the device. If I look down, you can see the blue lights come on. Okay, which means it should be linked with it. Let's give it a little bit of time. Okay, now the first thing it's saying is update required, which is quite normal for something that's been sat in a box in a shop. So we'll start the update. Probably fast forward this. Okay, so we're done. And it says you can power cycle your device by unplugging the power transformer, waiting 10 seconds and plugging it back in again. All right, so we say yes. Okay, so to manage this device, use the Manage Devices screen in your app settings. So there's the Manage Device. Okay, so these are my LOCO'S. And down here, you can see I have HM6010. And we will click on that. Now we have some choices where we can change the name of it. So if it's in a particular part of the layout, you can give it a different name. Pratt's Corner or Silly Bottom or something, I don't know, whatever. Right, so, and then what have we got? So it says we can change the label of it. At the moment it's called New Accessory. We've got information about the channel outputs, 1, 2, and 3 output, 140 milliamps, a maximum voltage 14 volts. Channel 4 outputs, 500 milliamps, constant voltage of 12 volts. Okay. Now, channel 1, point. Yep, we'll sort of keep it as a point. Channel 2 is also a point. Channel 3
let's edit the channel. We are going to call it a signal. Thank you. And then channel 4, edit the channel, and we're going to call it a light. Okay. Bit of yap about what the capacities are of that channel. Yeah, thank you very much. Hornby does not make or any provisions for any non-Hornby accessories in any current or existing DC or DC. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, this is a disclaimer. Right, and then obviously the big unlink and delete device button. Everything should now be operational. So what we want to go down to is, if you remember down the bottom here, you've got the train control, but this here is the accessories control. And there we have it. Right, so we have channel 1, it says point, so we have an open and close. Channel 2, point, open and close. Channel 3, signal, red, off and green. And channel 4, on and off, and that's for the light. All right, so let's just bring this down and open up the view a little bit. Okay. So hopefully we're going to see everything on the screen. So what we're going to do now is let's try the light. Oh, okay, lights on and off, perfect. Signal, face the camera, red, off and green. I'll go straight to red and green. Excellent, loving that. And then these little surface mounted motors, open, open, close, and close. Now, this is something that's quite relevant. I don't know if you may not have picked it up, and I'm going to try and zoom in onto the point motors themselves. Okay. Now you see the little tag here. When you first take these out of the packaging, they will be inside, even if they may well be closed. They will be tucked away because they do push away. So before you set these up on the circuit, you are going to have to do this operation to make sure you've got them at their extreme open, so you can fit that onto your point, and then you can work backwards from there. Right, well, I think that's, when it comes to the wiring side of things and the Bluetooth side of things, I think we're there, really. Now, that only took a few minutes. Okay, so I speeded up the download, but that, again, was only about 4 minutes, I think, that we took out of that. Please don't be confused by this power from the rail system here. All I'm trying to get across to you is that although these things come with a power jack, and it's very simple to get the power and plug it in there and have that power, then it becomes a very independent unit. It's also, I just wanted to show, here's a way of you actually powering from your circuit. If you weren't using the Hornby power pack to power the circuit, certainly you could not. I don't think you can operate this system with the one that comes with the sets. You're going to have to upgrade, whether that's Hornby or whether you go down the route of buying something a little bit more advanced, like the DCC power supply that I've got here. That's not necessarily DCC, it's just their brand name. Okay, just double check that. Right, I think now we should, let's get it on the layout. Okay, so here's what we've done on the underside of bar wire junction. I've actually velcroed these in place, which suits me just fine. Right, that's that lot all done. Quite quick, isn't it? But that's because the app has everything at your fingertips. So we turned the light on, we turned the loco on, we changed the signal, and we moved the point, all within a matter of seconds. Switching the point back, So the goods line is now clear again for our return. The gronk's going to go around the loop. I shall clip it here, fast forward a bit, and here it appears magically. Slow it down over the ramp, nice and easy. The ramp may not look in its lower position, but it is at this moment. And we just ease up here. Stop over the ramp and operate the decoupler. Have a little shuffle backwards and forwards and make sure everything's loosened up, and we're off. There we go. Switch the point again and change the signal, so the goods line is now restricted. And I have to say goodnight to Craig on the way past. He does like a little bit of moonlighting in the signal box, does our Craig? Nighty night, pajama, ta-da.
Right, well, I was pleased with that. I'm actually really quite chuffed with how that worked out, and I've got loads of plans for loads more of these. And then they're not particularly expensive compared to other companies' controllers. There'll be a link in the description below. Yes, it's affiliated, and that means that if you do click on it, please put it in the basket before you log in, or if you've already logged in, then go and do the affiliated link. And that way, I might get that shandy I was alluding to in the previous video. Yeah, right, guys. If you're enjoying this and you want to share this for other people to see how this works, then yeah, please stick it on forums and on social media. Some of the Hornby TT120 Facebook pages that my page can't put a link onto. So if one of you guys want to put a link to this video from my page onto one of those websites, perfect. Yeah, be my guest. In the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe. Poke Peach in the face to actually subscribe to the channel, which really helps the algorithm and gets to sort of spread what I'm doing around. And here's a couple of videos. Hope you enjoy yourself. See you soon. Take care. Bye bye.